Alright. Going live. I forgot to lower the bit rate. Well, hopefully that shouldn't be an issue today. Alright, we'll go ahead with it. Let's do our nice comparison with Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are released today, HD-2D. Thanks to Square for sending me a code for this. I'm eager to get into it. First thing I was doing was recording my footage. So this is pre-recorded footage of everything here, of HD-2D Remake, NES, and the mobile Switch version. There is a lot of versions of this game that I will pull up, and I'm just gonna let the others start playing too, because there's the reason the stream layout is like this time instead of anything more dynamic is because there's so few things to directly compare, or there would be like large gaps of time in between everything. Prior to HD-2D Remake, you start the game up and you're talking to the king. You're in a room.
Left unchecked, it will swallow.
Let me move forward my NES footage here.
It may already be too late.
What's going on with it? Huh.
Perhaps you, Scion of Erdrick, might prevail. Please.
Well, while I figure that out, oh, there it goes.
You must make
It is like 20 gigabyte file, I guess. I'm running like 20, all three videos at the same time.
that you can.
They start you right in the throne room and get you moving. And HD-2D Remake has a nice whole new opening to it. There's nothing to compare this to, because this is just where the game throws you. Let me go ahead and make a tweak out, but in my footage here, I record up to Craggy Cave, which is something you can sort of like go right to. And I cut out grinding, and my footage is like 30 minutes long for the NES and mobile versions to get up to Craggy Cave. It's an hour in HD-2D. And that's like a half hour with like grinding cut out. Zero concern for grinding so far in HD-2D Remake. I can get into why that is in a moment. Just let me make up the tweet here. Excuse me. You need to change the video. You need to change the video resolution. Really? Chad, does everyone see the stream all right? I thought you could stream to YouTube at 1440p. Let me know how things look. Hello, Mercenary. Welcome. Yeah, the YouTube dashboard's telling me to not stream at 1440p, so let me know how it looks. In the meantime, I need to get a link for the stream and tweet it out. Switch version as part of a 3-pack of the cart. Very nice. The packaging looks cool, especially with its, I saw it has a reversible cover. That looks cool. So this is a really daunting beast to cover with Dragon Quest 1 and 2. I'm gonna do my best for what I can today, right? But the thing with Dragon Quest 1 and 2, this goes for both of them. We've only got these three versions here total, right? Dragon Quest 1 released on let's see if I can pull it up here. Dragon Quest 1 is playable on NES, MSX, MSX2, Super Famicom, Game Boy Color, mobile pre-Android and iOS, the Wii, Android and iOS, 3DS and PS4 only in Japan, Nintendo Switch, which is what you see in the bottom right, and HD-2D remake. That's a lot of versions. I don't know why I'm struggling with RetroArch so much in the NES one. But here's the thing, the what you've seen so far of HD-2D remake, all of this prologue right here has no comparison to in the other versions. So there has not been a comparable moment yet between the footage. Story-wise, it's kind of crazy. It feels even crazier with 2. I guess it makes sense that these are games that have room for the narrative to grow anyway. Even though they are still kind of short games.
It seemeth thou art a warrior of great skill. We have long awaited the
Since now that we're finally in the throne room, let me reverse back here and pull the I'll just start from there. Pull everyone else's footage back to the throne room. I don't know why I'm struggling so much with there. Everyone's in the throne room now. Struggling so much on NES there. I don't remember opening RetroArch that much. There's a lot. There's so much. This is like the largest leap in modernizing Dragon Quest 1 and 2. Like even in that mobile Switch version, they retain how keys worked in the original, which was not the colored key system. In HD-2D remake, it is now the colored key system. So there's like 3 keys total, and the doors work how you would expect to in later Dragon Quest games. Originally in Dragon Quest 1, you had to, 1 key could open any door, but you just had to keep getting the keys. And now it is the traditional door system of, Thief Key, Magic Key, and Master Key? It goes in tiers now. So... Oh yeah, you do see me on the in the NES footage struggling with the 3 chests they put in the room with you, trying to figure out how to open them on NES because they put stairs, doors, search, and take are all separate options in the NES version, and I was not prepared for having to walk over the treasure chests. I also think I'm setting up rewind there, or I'm trying to set my hotkeys.
Calm thyself. Though we lack for proof, I would place my faith in this youngster nonetheless.
I did figure it out though.
Better that than lose all hope for the salvation of our benighted realm.
I think I had a caveat with the voice acting in 3 HD-2D. I think it's because of how slow they read out lines. The voice acting's fantastic, but I wouldn't play it in either Japanese or English because it makes going through the dialogue take even longer. And there's already so much new dialogue, especially now. And it is fine where if you turn the voices all the way to 0, they are just replaced with the traditional bleeps anyway. Little bips and boops. Right? However, not all scenes are voiced anyway. There's been, like, the throne room scenes, like the scenes that have been in the castle so far have been voiced. Any, like, dialogue that's been in, like, dungeons really hasn't been voiced. Not consistently. So you don't hear a whole lot of voice acting. The entire main story is not voice acted. Just a good chunk of it. So the first thing I'm amazed by is the 8-way direction sprites. So I'm like, that's pretty nifty to see, and the further I like see that sprite in action, the more I think it's really cool. That there's a 8-way direction sprite, a diagonal sprite. I'm going through the menus, looking at all the new options. There are tactics, which is a lot of this is just going to be handy and like going to be real new. The shortcut commands from the Dragon Quest III update are back and just right in the game already. System settings for suggested actions. Remember command. Battle speed, same as 3 HD, feels too slow on normal, so I'm gonna set it to fast later. Minimap, I set it to zoom out. I don't think I did it here, but I will later. Game starts out loud as hell, so I turn it down. I'm still here guessing while I've already moved on to grinding in the other two versions. That's really cool. So you get help for... In the options, it provides options for... Trying to rewind this. Treasure chest locations and secret spots are optional, along with objective markers and quest help text are all optional. It's all optional if you want to play with those. These games are pretty damn, like, open-ended, though these are nice in having an option to play them in a more railroaded experience. Your option of not using these would be to talk to literally everybody and gather info about how you want to progress and what you need to do and where you need to go. And they'll steer you in the right direction and give you plenty of info through NPCs if you pay attention to them. And it also still retains the memorization mechanic of Dragon Quest III HD-2D, where you press start and it'll memorize dialogue. So it's that alternative to memorizing what NPCs are telling you. There's also, for recover HP and MP when leveling up is now optional. You don't have to have that on. Now it's actually an option you can toggle off if you don't like that. Even invincibility, but it's only on... that's a Draki difficulty only thing. But that's really cool that at least that's optional. It's something I'm gonna leave on. For showing them off in any footage, I'm gonna leave all those help things on so you can see them. Same graphics options as well, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, set it to toggle run just so you don't have to keep worrying about holding the button to sprint. So here's the thing about Dragon Quest 1, right, is, yeah, option to play as if originally. What is it? Yeah, free to go where you want right away. And the thing is, though, that all numbers, anything numerically has been definitely inflated. I'm gonna rewind the other footage now that I'm finally out of the castle. Except I'm still in the castle in NES. Torches you don't need anymore, by the way. I can see where I was on mobile Switch version. As the game so far, I think I'm gonna enjoy it. I actually really enjoyed how how much information Dragon Quest III HD-2D gave you, because it was just a nice game to go through while doing something else at the same time. This is one of some of those JRPGs where I was just tuning out, watching like a stream in the background and going on my adventure. This is an optional dialogue or optional scene to just view the Dragon Lord castle from here. Yeah, so those things are optional. And speaking of optional, the first thing they instruct you on and tell you about is going to the Erdrick's cave. Yeah, and you can see where it puts a marker there on the map. Just like in the original, you can just go past that. I don't go to that at all in this footage, I think. I just go on to Craggy Cave I go to the town in the northwest rather, and then I go south to the Craggy Cave in my footage. The first thing I did was not go to Erdrick's Cave. So it's still something like that you can do. We'll show it. Well, I'll go over it again when we look at Dragon Quest II. I already have that footage ready to go. At the beginning of Dragon Quest II, they send you on a damn goose chase for the prince. And while they do railroad you in where to go, the last place he's at is going to be at the inn in the second town. After you come out of the dungeon, or that first cave in Dragon Quest II, you can just go to that inn and meet him, but the game wants you to go to both kings first after that, and so if you're following the game's objective markers, it's going to lead you into those two places first. If you just know where to go, then you could just go there and get him. Princess to an inn after saving her, but before taking her back to the castle. I am not sure. Well, there's a scene that goes off when you enter the second town, but I'm not sure. I game over somewhere? Yes, I did game over. And then I was trying to figure out my rewind. I had my rewinds were screwed up in RetroArch because I accidentally had it set to hardcore mode for achievements. And when you do that, you can't there it goes. When you do that, you can't use rewind or save states, apparently. You can save, but you can't load them. All these things are explorable, all these items I'm picking up, nothing like this was in the originals. There's so much that's, like, added here. Comparatively to, like, what was done with 3, for 1 and 2, this is huge. There's so much. I'm going to imagine, like, any, like, special scenes or interactions are still in, because so far anything optional in how I was doing it was still in, plus that other scene with looking over the castle. It's literally more footage of me just exploring. I'm gonna move that on just so I'm out of here. You get an achievement for taking this lady that follows you to sleep at the inn. She starts following you, and then you go to the inn with her, and when you sleep for the night, you get an achievement. Let's see. They prepare you with everything you would have... Like, you start out there, I'm starting out fully equipped with, like, leather suit, hat, leather everything. And then the sword. That stuff you would have had to buy in the original, but you just start with it already equipped once you're out of the throne room. You get way more money. You level way faster. It's very apparent that this game does not have a level cap of 30 anymore. The level cap is significantly higher than that. Enemies and everything have been adjusted for that. I've heard people still find challenge later in the game. So enemies are adjusted for the stat inflation too. I still have to imagine... I mean, I would just simply have to play it for myself and get further in myself to judge the difficulty. But I'm so, like... It's taken me so long just to explore this opening town, and it is not, like... You would not be taking this long if you're in the originals to just walk around the towns. So let me move on out here and get into, outside of town here. Let me rewind everyone once again. Oh, I've already moved on to the other town in NES, it looks like. You used to move slower in the over mountains on NES. That doesn't happen anymore, but that didn't happen on Switch either. I'm gonna turn it up for the music here. I'm not crazy on Dragon Quest 1's battle theme. Dragon Quest 2's battle theme, yeah, but Dragon Quest 1's battle theme, I don't know, this might get grating. Thankfully, it's not a terribly long game, so that's the other benefit here, at least. That's the one saving grace about how many different versions there are of it. It's not a terribly long game. It's an open-ended game. You can absolutely wander off and end up in areas well over-leveled for you. But yeah, you see on the road there is a very like clear path, like dirt road marked and added. Stuff to just free stuff to just pick up along the way. You see where it wants me to go. I'm just gonna ignore that. Let's see, a lot of, what is it? There's both spells and abilities in 1 and 2 now. I failed to correctly show it at the beginning of 1, but it will show in battle. Like, there's a bunch of extra UI that tells you if an enemy is vulnerable to a specific move or a specific type. You can press R3, I think it is, to just see the status of the enemies, if they're inflicted with anything at the moment. A lot of information just clearly provided to you, and a lot of UI help on which abilities to use. I can't believe, like, how much, like... I cut out all of the grinding in my footage. Like, almost all the grinding I did. Apparently, it looks like on NES I'm doing grinding right now, especially because I'm speeding it up. I mean, if I had recorded all of the grinding I did, it probably would have been the same length of the footage of 1 and 2. And all that grinding's just replaced with... I mean, this is just me traversing. But also just the written dialogue and everything. So I don't think anyone's playtime is going to be too inflated by these extra story changes. And I mean, it would be up to you if you wanted to grind anyway. And then there's ways to lower the encounter rate anyway. These games do have high encounter rates, but you have ways to mitigate them. And with how fucking fast it was already leveling, I think you'll be at the higher level threshold to avoid encounters. Yeah, for while I'm walking here and getting into fights, I'm also gonna be live tomorrow probably for Tales of Xillia. I already have footage pre-recorded for that. I just have to, I think it unlocks tonight. Actually, knowing Bandai Namco, that probably unlocks in like, right now, actually. You know how Bandai Namco is, it's probably unlocked right now. Let me go check. I think I got it on Green Man Gaming. Yeah, with what is it? Tales of Xillia. Tales of Xillia was only ever on PS3. That's it. It was only ever on PS3. I could just tell you now, the only thing I see different between Japanese and English was in the English localization of Xillia. There was a scene with the middle finger that they removed the middle finger from. And I don't think that scene has the middle finger in in the remaster. They also took a smoking pipe out, cosmetic out too, if I recall from what I read correctly. But yeah, the middle finger was already removed way back when. I think it's kind of funny that it was there in the first place. Dragon Quest VII's in the future. Well, here's the thing, man. I want to, it would be easiest to just say, with how I'm burnt out on more things than just YouTube at the moment, I guess I would say. I should be careful on what I promise going forward. And what I wanted to talk about today was really, be careful on anything I try to promise and limit my scope going forward. I can say I definitely want to, but the backlog is endless right now. So, day one streams, yeah, but promises of port reviews, I should really be more careful on promising those things. And that's not just like for Dragon Quest VII, like I've started, the Mega Man Star Force games, I started playing through those now for when the Legacy Collection comes out next year. And I'm attached to Battle Network because I grew up on those games. I love the Battle Network series. Star Force I couldn't really get into, and I don't know if I'm gonna have the same attachment and drive for it, and I'm thinking I should be more careful of the games I want to cover, and maybe there should be some games where I just want to enjoy them, and I should, maybe, and not, worry about whether or not I'm going to do a port review with them after casually playing them. Because I should be putting out of my mind worrying about that. I can say that with Dragon Quest 2, or not Dragon Quest 2, Star Force 2. Yeah, my experience was only with like the start of Star Force 1 when I was young, and because it was following up Battle Network, and essentially a soft reset and you only had 3 rows, I wasn't really feeling it. So I'm just trying to give it a fair shot as an adult, basically, and really get into it. Give me a sec here.
Let the fire consume thee.
I got it on Fanatical. That Tales of Xillia on Fanatical. That was it. Yes, Tales of Xillia is out now. So I'm gonna activate that on Steam right now and download it later. So tomorrow we'll do a stream for Tales of Xillia. But I should be careful on what I promise and what I keep my scope up. Get into it for Star Force. I'm gonna do my best to stick to it. At the very least, I have some things bothering me about Star Force 1. I think watching the stream, like, the last time I streamed it, I was pretty, like, frustrated. And I think it's just gonna be growing pains. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be a watchable stream. Like, it took me a while to remember the shield mechanic, to remember you can pop a shield. Had I known that, I would have saved, like, half of the bitching I did in that stream. Because it felt like the whole time, like, I'm missing something about combat. There's something about this feels like I'm missing a mechanic, and I was missing the shield. And it was like, okay, so this isn't as bad as I thought. So it took me this long to just get going on my way down. Again, the encounter rate gonna be... The reason I'm just letting it rock, though, is because... again, the setting is on to where when I level up, it's gonna refill my HP and MP. So, whatever, just let it go. Vanilla Star Force 2. I might take breaks in between them. That's what I did when I streamed all the Battle Network games. I did Battle Network 1, came back to Battle Network 2 after like a few months. And then from there I was enjoying it, so I just like kept going through them straight. I think I did Battle Network 1 and 2 back to back. So you don't need torches anymore, so here I enter Craggy Cave, and there's already a torch. The first thing I'm going to look at is whether or not I can use Chimera Wings. Of course, in this version, yes, you can use Chimera Wings while indoors, you can use Zoom while indoors. And it lets you pick where you want to go. You don't have to just go to the last place you were. So I just show it there that if I want to, and I can go back to Craggy Cave. I think what I do here is I'm going to use it to go somewhere, yeah. Rest at the inn, and then immediately use a Chimera Wing again to go back to Craggy Cave to start exploring it. And I've already, what would have been like some nice grinding to get in between that time, I have already done because you get so much XP and everything already along the way. So I mean, it works out to use the Chimera Wings like that. That's part of why they inflated the stats and everything like that, all the numbers like that. And this is how you know they adjusted for it, is because there's so much more gear here of it immediately available to purchase, but it's all expensive. So I can't even afford that steel broadsword. I just got to settle on chainmail, and like two new pieces of armor is all I settle on. I thought it was so funny going into the cave on NES, and that's how much you just have to see. That was really funny to me. I think I went through struggling on NES. I come back later with a torch, I think. But with a torch, you usually see more on mobile Switch version over there. I believe I don't have the torch on. So I have the limited field of view. I don't know why I'm idling on NES. I'll skip forward a bit. Oh, the footage is at the end. Oh yeah, because I got into Craggy Cave and I'm like, oh, this is a completely different layout. The NES layout is nothing like the future versions layouts. And then, once again, HD-2D's layout is not like the other layouts either. So it was like, there's no boss in this cave anyway. It ends up with dead ends and everything. It's just straight overwhelming how many changes are like compiled in, and it's easier to just like almost like to go from Dragon Quest 3 to this feels just more natural, I guess, because there's so many more similarities now with Dragon Quest 3 and the rest of the series going forward. I'm using up my seeds of life and all these seeds that they give you. There was a number of them I found. But there was also some day one pre-order stuff that gave you some seeds. You only have the protagonist in Dragon Quest 1, so I figure I might as well just use them. You do have a party of now 4 characters in Dragon Quest 2. This is part of their PR. This is what they said in PR that they wanted you to know about, because it's also literally in the art for the game too. There's 4 protagonists now with Dragon Quest 2. So anyway, there's other characters to use the seeds on. How long the text stays on screen for normal speed. Unless you change the Japanese, it makes it unacceptable. Battles unacceptably slow. And if you set it to, for like battle speed? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 3 was like that too. It was frustrating. Man, there's so much time here. I'm finally back in the cave. I'm looking at the map. I'm trying to like make heads or tails of if this is similar to the NES or the Super Famicom map. It feels more like just its own thing. Like, again. So that's why it's like so hard to just straight compare them. It's not even worth like putting them on screen equally, because there's not even like the story beats feel like the story beats themselves are the only thing that feel comparable. Like the distance and time and pacing between the story beats are completely uncomparable. Mix the voices. Oh yeah. Not most fighting games. There's a few fighting games that let you do that, like Street Fighter does. That's what I think of first with that. That is true that Kirby's gonna let you do that, yeah. I feel like I had another... Oh yeah, I think I'll finally stream Atelier this weekend. Hopefully. Just because, you know, Koei Tecmo sent me a code for it. And it's not a... I'm still just enjoying it and getting my bearings back. Yeah, 100% you have to play on fast or very fast battle speed.
Not today.
I should look at that though. You mean, unless you change the language to Japanese, it makes battles unacceptably slow. Do you mean normal speed is faster if it's on Japanese? Because either way, the text appears at the same time. We're just talking, it stays on screen for less time if it's set to Japanese. And for some reason, in English, it stays on screen longer at the same battle speed. I can look into that after this, because well, I'll probably just continue the game for a little bit after I review this footage. Stays on screen for way less. Wow. Was 3 like that? I wish I knew. I would have mentioned that in the video. Because that sounds unintentional. I mean, I kind of get it. I kind of get it, and I can show why when we get to Dragon Quest II. For Dragon Quest II, it kind of makes sense. But anyway, here I finally showed the battle UI and what it's like when it tells you can use an ability that a monster's vulnerable to. Oh yeah, there's definitely many more monsters also just around in these starting locations too. The ones that are supposed to be there are still there, but there's definitely more monsters probably just carried over from 3 that are just around now too. But yeah, the rewards out of here, it's so even hard to compare just what rewards are in which locations. At the end here, if I just skip to where we get to the end. And of course, you gotta backtrack all the way out in any of the earlier games. But here we get the choker. Right, and then what's in the other one? The suit of zombie mail. And then I check them out. You can see that they're both cursed items. You got a 10-ton toupee, I think is also cursed. A lot of cursed gear in this game. It almost feels intentional. Yeah, how past play testing. Well, here's a wild thing, right? You know, have you ever played Final Fantasy 15? In Final Fantasy 15, the jump button is the same thing as the interact button. They're both X. So a lot of English players you see will walk up to something and jump right in front of it and like do that once or twice before interacting or picking something up. It took until Royal Edition for them to fix that by adding an option to change the confirmation button, because that issue was not an issue in the Japanese version because circle was the confirm button. so it was not the same as the jump button. The jump button and confirm being the same button was an American-only problem. So they added an option to change the confirmation button in Royal Edition, and that is totally because you're just not playtesting it in English. Alright, let's move on to Dragon Quest 2 here. Because I mean, we get everything we show there also like applies to the changes in 2. And then there's even more in 2 here. But I definitely think after I show this, I'll just play some. But again, there's just so much. Let's see. Let's do Switch. Which game is that? Oh, here. I may have skipped it. I don't know which opening is the attract mode. I don't know what the attract mode video is in 2, because I kept skipping over it. Because when you
Once upon a time,
I would open the game, go into OBS, hit record, click back into the game, and then it would skip the intro. But either way, we get this prologue and everything. We have a nice, lengthy opening prologue.
Having done so, he set off on a journey with his new bride.
And it's just going to, once again, open up on a lot more dialogue and everything going on before you, like, get going. I'm not exaggerating. Yeah, my footage here is an hour, and I spend 30 minutes of my footage here inside the castle before I just leave. And that's why I don't want to play these games with voice acting. I would just rather read them as fast as I can. I'm a slow reader, but I could still read faster than that. So they're all on their prologue right now.
Named after the castle built by the hero and his bride.
When I was recording this, I wasn't really thinking about how the stream was gonna look.
My beautiful boy.
Yeah, so my NES footage is gonna have some shimmering there.
Of this I am certain.
After Middenhall was founded the Kingdom of Cannock, a nation nestled betwixt...
We're probably talking about it tomorrow too, but with Tales of Xillia, it's from what I read, it's ambitious port into Unity, and it's not like any sort of... It doesn't seem like it under the hood. It was a cheap job to do, but I'm curious how they handle reflections and things like that. Tales of Xillia is a pretty game. Okay, so they let you name the other characters here.
It is perfect, is it not?
As far as I was seeing on NES and mobile Switch, you weren't doing that before.
A mighty name for a yet mightier heir.
Lastly came the Kingdom of Moonbrook, founded by a spell.
Damn it, I was about to search something.
To whom weavers of magic flocked from the world over.
Yeah, we'll see tomorrow how it fares. I mean, it's literally out right now on PC. But I will stream it tomorrow. I gotta pace myself somehow, man.
When the three are older.
I doubt not, but they shall forge a fellowship most firm, as I did with my cousins the kings. But first, she will need a name that befits.
Let me see. I was going to look up on for Dragon Quest HD-2D.
Just that. Come. Lend me thine ear.
how it fares on other devices. I don't know if Mikhail did an article on that. I have to imagine he did.
And her future will be bright. I swear it.
Oh, because it would be under articles, not guides.
Thus did the legendary line continue into another generation.
I know I'm not the only other one feeling it too. I can tell you most content creators you know that stay up to date on releases are burnt the fuck out. This is hardly a me issue at this point. There's so much, dude. There's so much that just keeps releasing. I can't believe like these two remasters next to each other is crazy. I mean, this is a remake. This isn't even a remaster. This is just full-blown absurd remakes.
Thou knowest full well mine abilities pale in comparison to thine.
So let me see. What did Mikhail write about? I'm gonna put this in the stream description. This is about how the game, how Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD-2D runs on Steam Deck and Switch 2. I can't edit the description while I'm live, right?
Are beyond even the purview of magic.
Let's see.
Come, Father, let us repair to thy chamber.
Just throw it in there. Okay, so let's see. It's capped at 60, of course. Only supports 16:9.
What now?
Let's use just the same settings.
By the goddess. Guards, assemble!
Majesty, I bring great tidings.
Switch 2 doesn't have a setting for depth of field.
They draw ever closer.
So you have to play with the depth of field on.
Curse thee, Hargon.
Hargon?
Let's see. Out of the box, there's no issues with 1 and 2 HD-2D. If you play on a Steam Deck that runs at 720p native and a high graphics preset without breaking the sweat at 60. I think it was like that as well. This game does build shaders though, actually. I don't think 3 HD-2D built shaders on first launch. This game built shaders.
To the castle guard. Keep them out. I too will make...
Father!
Sire!
Let's see.
Care not for this old fool. Go
While
to
the
thy
Steam Deck
captain.
OLED has a 90
Tell
Hz
him.
display, playing a 60 FPS game will not feel as smooth during movement. Fix this, you gotta set the screen to 60 Hz. That's worth pointing out. If anyone feels like the frame pacing issue there,
Begone, fiends.
that's what that would do.
Father, what is
And if you wanted
happening?
30 FPS, you could then target
What will
1080p.
become of us?
Still thy heart. Thou
Doesn't
shalt
support
escape
16:10, of course, so it's gonna have the black bars in the top and right, top and bottom.
I'd recognize those ugly mugs anywhere. It's the king and his darling daughter. Lord Hargon was clear in his instructions. Let no one
Let's see.
Just as I feared. But wherefore now?
On Switch 2,
Moonbrook will not fall
HD-2D
today.
looks good, 1440p monitor, 30 FPS mode. 60 FPS mode is soft visually, so it's a similar compromise, I think, to 3.
Faces.
If you want 60 FPS mode, it's going to be blurrier.
Choice. This way, my child.
And then
Please, I do not
there's comparison images too up on
Listen to me.
in the
Thou
article
hast thy
from
mother's
Mikhail.
beauty and her wisdom. Thou wert ever our pride and our joy.
You notice how long this scene's going on for? Like,
Since the
it's
day of thy
great.
birth,
This is
everything I have
fantastically
done, I
done,
have done for thee.
and European actors are incredible, dude. These are more than likely, like,
To live this one
stage
would be
trained,
a-
theatrically trained actors that they get for these when they get European
The
actors.
last time we shall be together.
They read really
I shall
slow.
never leave thy side.
ROG Ally had frame rate issues targeting 1080p 60.
Without a fight.
Oh, that was for 3. That was for 3. For 1 and 2, no issues outside of minor hitching. Okay.
He may be old, but he knows a spell or two. Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Okay, so it's a step up on ROG Ally over 3 HD-2D. Okay.
Today, you battled the bloodline of Erdrick.
Got his ass. I can say though, from like my time, I mean, even when I was playing NES and mobile Switch, Dragon Quest 2, I'm really interested in playing more Dragon Quest 2. That's the one I want to get through. But thankfully, 1's not that long, so it's not a huge deal to have to get through 1 first.
Halved.
Yeah, I'm gonna move us along here, because again, I am in this castle for 30 minutes.
A day like any other, and thou must needs be about thy duties. Pray, go into the streets of the city and walk amongst thy people. Speak to them of their hopes and
like on
fears.
NES, there was a scene we were just seeing, right?
Over them, and thence to the practice ground, that thy sword might one day suffice to protect them. For thou art mine heir. But thou art also heir to mighty Erdrick, hero of legend.
I've heard good things about Absalom, yeah. It's too many games, man.
Be king and hero both. It is no easy path, but I trust that thou wilt tread it well.
Pray, stop by to see the item seller this day, Highness. Tidings oft travel fastest among those who cross the land in search of profit. There is much to be learned from such people, and thence to the captain of the guard.
So yeah, with 2, this is a similar thing of you are railroaded, and you can certainly follow the objectives, or you can treat it how you originally would treat it. Though, I mean, as far as I know, the prince isn't available at the inn, no matter what, until you've been to the cave in the top right. Not world top right, but like northeast of where we are right now. And after that point, he's available. Like, I think the minimum steps are talk to that king. Go to that cave. Oh, I think you still have to go back to your father then too. And then he will be at the inn. I think those are the minimal requirement steps. And again, if you follow the main story markers, they'll actually keep leading you around like 2 more steps after that. So if you just know where to actually go, you get through, you know, you have that advantage. But then you miss an extra scene of dialogue. So in my in my HD-2D footage here, I do both, where the first thing I do is just go to him after the cave. And then I reload my save and go and check out what happens if you continue on the main story, and it just has you talk to his dad, that king, again, before he then sends you, where it's like, no, I don't know where he is, and then you get the objective marker to where he actually is. So once again, yeah, the keys are now there's 3 tiers of keys now. I hope nothing happens with the VOD because I'm streaming at 1440p. I don't know what... It feels weird that YouTube is saying I need to change my video resolution. And I will continue to not do so. I'm streaming at 1440p so that my 1080p here gameplay here is unscaled. For HD-2D remake to let it all be visible. NES and mobile are of course scaled down from my recordings, but HD-2D remake footage here is completely unscaled. Pacing in the cutscene similar to 3 remake. I guess so, huh? Especially with what I was talking about with the long voice acting. And there's just so many more scenes in general. But again, these games aren't going to have, like, severely longer play times compared to their original counterparts. Because, like, all this time spent on engaging with the cutscenes is, like, replacing how much grinding you would probably have done before. Turn this back up now. There's so much to look at and see around the town. Oh yeah, there's mini medals in both games too. I probably already saw them. But there are mini medals. Oh yeah, part of the pre-order set is elevating shoes. Though the XP is already so, like, in your favor anyway. But yeah, I spend a good, like... Okay, so 30 minutes in this town. Oh yeah, I'm still in this damn throne room. So once you head up to the castle, speak to the king. Again, the encounter rate's pretty crazy. You get things to reduce the encounter rate later, but until then, just kind of grin and bear it. It is still going to be less battles than you would have done in prior versions. And it's still going to be ending faster than you normally would end them. Let's see. All these secret spots on the world map. Here I'm showing the abilities. There's 2 pages of abilities now, where there were no abilities before. I don't recall these crows being in the game originally, but here they are now. The ravens, rather, sorry. I think the ravens first appear in 3, but here they are. I entered this town. Let's get the nice, yeah, the glamour shots of the town when you first walk in. It feels more colorful, but I guess it objectively is more colorful compared to what you did in Dragon Quest III here. So, I think, so that makes sense. There is no day and night cycle though, right, so... I will miss the sunset and sunrise times of 3. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the diagonal sprites. I think that was a good call. I think I remember some people mentioning when they first saw 3 HD-2D was wanting to turn the camera. And I felt that more here, like, actually. I felt that for a little bit. Let's see. The prices are way down. The prices were already reduced on mobile Switch, but they were reduced down even further. There's definitely more talking points I want to get to once I get into the castle, which that wasn't even the town. This is just a town in the middle before Canuck. You're gonna save at the inn. Here it is. So the princess, right? Did I loot that bit? I didn't loot that room. I think I gotta go back.
Well met, young Middenhall.
How thou art grown since last we saw thee. Yet the furrow of thy brow suggests
Where is this in my
that
NES
far
footage?
from well.
Sounds. Moonbrook is fallen. Her armies laid waste by a vast horde of fiends. Yet as thou
So that was it
sayest,
right there in
we have
NES.
but one soldier's word. It would behoove us to learn the truth before acting unduly. Wait! Pray, take our boy with thee.
Though some regard him as something of a featherbrained sort, he is assiduous in his daily training with sword and spell.
Where art thou, boy? Thy presence is required in the throne room.
Whatever is the matter, Daddy? If you were looking for that wayward brother of mine, I'm afraid you shan't find him here.
So here's the thing.
He set off for the wellspring of the hero earlier this morn.
Even now,
Is
he marches
Dragon
to the
Quest
beat of a
II
drum
starts you off by
entirely
sending you on this goose chase for the prince,
Mine apologies, fair prince.
and
Yet I could not forgive
you
myself
are still on a
without
goose
to go
chase for the prince
companionless
in
and
HD-2D
any harm were to
remake,
befall thee.
but they add more
Wouldst thou
motivation
be willing
around
to
it and make
journey
it
to the
more clear.
wellspring of the hero
Like there's
and bring back my son?
that's what they spent all that time yapping about, was trying to build a stronger motivation for everything,
Once thou hast located our boy,
so that at the end of this silly goose hunt, it doesn't feel like it was just a waste of time. They're doing their best to get the most out of that while still keeping the goose chase. You know?
Is my cousin Moonbrook no more?
We do not know that, dear. Let us not dwell on that we cannot control.
But this was the first noticeable change here is with the princess.
Quite. Summon the Chancellor.
And this is where it was
kingdom must be
like
fortified.
there's a lot that they've done. Because the first thing you do after that meeting is not set off.
Quickly, in here.
It's get pulled off by the princess.
What was all that talk of Moonbrook just now? Good gracious! That is terrible news, and I can well understand why Father is loath to let you go alone. Then it is decided. I will accompany you on your hunt for my darling brother. After all, if he is to play his part as a scion of the hallowed hero, then so must I. It is as I always say, age is no excuse to laze. I hardly think that Mummy and Daddy Dearest will allow me to join you on your journey to Moonbrook, but at the very least, I can help you find my brother, can't I? Wonderful! Well, now that is settled, let us prepare to depart.
And again, she's literally in the art. Hori has talked about this in interviews.
But first, I must dress for the occasion. Step outside for a moment, please.
But there are 4 party members in Dragon Quest II, HD-2D.
Well, what do you make of my travelling togs? I sewed them myself, you know. Honestly, you boys wouldn't know needlework if it poked you in the eye. When a lady asks for your opinion on her outfit, you say it's stunning or breathtaking. Or if you're feeling particularly adventurous, sublime beyond belief. Anyway, on the subject of feeling adventurous, let us be off. Oh, and pray do not stand on ceremony. I have a name for a reason. By all means, call me by it.
Matilda. Again, naming.
Now that is settled, let us fly to the east, over field and forest.
Starting with 3
and down
HD
into
2D.
the depths of the earth. The
I can't argue on
wellspring of
which
the
one you want to
hero
start with,
awaits.
actually. And it makes sense if you already, like, canonically know. Yeah, you know, and it's still cool. There's still a benefit to it. Part of me still thinks, though, this is all I'll say, starting with 1, as far as I can tell, would still be valid. But you probably do get more out of starting with 3, since they very clearly intended that for HD-2D anyway. Yeah. I just thought it was the only reason I bring it up is I just felt it was interesting that so far from what I was playing of 1 still felt like you could have started with it. But I do think probably going forward, there probably are benefits to starting with 3 anyway. Yeah, it wants us to head off to that same cave. I'm gonna move us along to it. So she is technically a guest party member, so you don't have control over what she does. Oh yeah, so you get the bonus of having her start with you, right? But she's a guest unit, and she does whatever she wants. She's more like a like a jester, or a gadabout rather. Because she's very capable of also hitting the enemies, but at the same time, she does have some dialogue where she does other things in battle. Or she inflicts like an ailment through like an accident. Like the gags for the gadabouts. She has moments like that. Like there, she just gave us she just pumped us up. Things like that. And it's done through like the same kind of dialogue as the gadabout's gags. So until she's like an actual party member, she's essentially functioning like that on you. And on fast, I can't read anything of what she's doing. On the fast battle speed setting. If it says like Matilda's doing something specific, the text is gonna go too fast for me to read all of it. At least on very fast. There's a point in this footage where I changed the battle speed to very fast. To that point, it becomes, like, impossible to read because it's not on screen long enough. So fast would still be advantageous there. But yeah, I just think that's cool. Bonuses if we start with these. Yeah, I don't know. I must have moved my saves or something because I don't know why I didn't have that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, in Dragon Quest, if you have save files for Dragon Quest 3 HD-2D, you get bonuses going into 1 and 2. I think it's a cat suit and dog suit. I don't know why I didn't get those. I must have moved my save files. Where would they be? My games. Dragon Quest 3. Steam. They're still here. Does it have to be any save file, or does it have to be completion data? It's still here in my games folder. I don't have it installed right now, but it didn't detect it. So anyway, here's like, I was talking about dialogue being voiced, but this dialogue right here at the cave is not voiced. I think we get to even at the dude at the end of this cave, his dialogue isn't voiced. So I fight all these enemies in here, I collect everything. There's something else interesting that I don't think the other versions did. Actually, let me find it here in HD. I think I noticed it more in Dragon Quest 1. Actually, yeah, I think it's a Dragon Quest 1. Well, it's probably in both games. In caves or dungeons, you have the traditional dungeon music. There were rooms I went into in the Craggy Cave where the music changed. It's the same song, but it's like a octave lower. It plays an octave lower version of the current of the cave theme. And even just that is kind of refreshing. Just something to not hear the same cave theme in every single cave and dungeon. I don't believe other versions did that. Because I don't think any other Dragon Quest games also did that either. Sorry for all the skipping around here. Yeah, so this isn't voiced. So the long strings of cutscenes that are voiced are really like almost restricted to just, so far, just like in the throne rooms. So that's the one plus side to it. I haven't been letting it play out, but I still like really like Dragon Quest II's battle theme. I liked how punchy it was on NES, though. It just kind of loses its punch with being how it's orchestrated, but it's definitely still there. So this is telling you how you can use Zoom or Chimera Wings, and you can leave from inside caves. And it's giving you this right after you talk to this dude. Also, yeah, the shortcut commands return again. So I don't have Zoom yet. I have all these abilities, but I don't have Zoom or any spells yet. So gotta use the Chimera Wing. And you choose where you want to go, including 2 caves. Works indoors. So from here, I notice it's gonna be telling me to, yeah, we're gonna go back to the king. I'm gonna be going back to Dad here. And it is effectively leading you on the same goose chase. But if you follow the markers, it adds an extra step to it. Not even this is voiced, yeah, so it's not a huge deal, but man, I would just rather, like, I'm probably just gonna still play with the voices off. What I kind of did with Dragon Quest III, actually, was, if I was watching streamers who were playing, and they had the voice acting on, that's how I would hear it. Just so I can enjoy my own pace of it. So he's not here, and when I look at my map, it's gonna instruct me not to go to an inn where he is. It's gonna instruct me to go back to his dad. Right. I waste my Chimera Wings because you can just buy them and they're cheap and I have a lot of money. And I'm thinking on it. But I decide just to forego it and go right to him because I know where he is. Oh yeah, this is a scene you get when you enter. 3 old Dragon Quests? Nay, 6 Dragon Quests. So you get this scene when you enter. Okay. And we enter the inn. And lo and behold, there he is. I stay at the inn anyway. I believe it's during Dragon Quest II. It's, I was informed to, make sure to stay at every inn in the game. I think it was Dragon Quest 2. It might have been 1.
Rascal, I have been at such pains to find.
No,
Your
not a big deal to
told
do
me
it
of
for
the
either way.
terrible news from Moonbrook, and that you journey there to learn the truth. Pray, allow me to accompany you on your expedition. I cannot rightly remain idle while my kin ventures into dangers unknown. What? Why are you?
Because I too heard the news from Moonbrook. That is why I've been helping the prince to find you, that you might venture there together.
Is that so? Then I owe you my thanks and my apologies.
Accepted. Now let us repair home. We mustn't keep Mother and Father waiting.
It is a pleasure to join your fellowship.
Though I did not say it, 'twas a pleasure for me too.
No, we still gotta escort her back.
'Twas almost like being a hero.
I got an email, and a lot of emails that come in for content creators make no goddamn sense. They are scam emails, pretty sure. But it's not even clear what they're trying to scam you on. But it's also like there's a template to this too, because it says, here's why people love company. Company is capitalized. Anyway, so this is the point where I reload my save file, and I believe I paused it a bit to re-catch up. Because the last time I manually saved was before I talked to the king in Kanek. Yeah, so I just reloaded my save and resumed the recording in OBS. And this is the extra step that they wanted you to do. Let's go up here, talk to the king, and he's gonna say, well, he's not here. Is this one even voiced? No. Party at Patty's. The default one's fine, yeah. Because you'll be changing them up either way. Oh, because you can't, what is it? Monster Wrangler was nerfed, but Monster Wrangler still wasn't made unusable. Monster Wrangler's still pretty good. It's not as overpowered as it was before. But I mean, you can, change it anyway. I think I'd recommend starting with the default party if you don't want to, sit on it too much. It's a pretty adjustable system, and you can change jobs later down the line. Though Dragon Quest 3 isn't as fresh in my mind at the moment. It's just that Monster Wrangler really stands out. But I mean, when I played, I waited a little bit to get Monster Wrangler. I kept them after I did that, but still. And that's the end of my footage. I think I'm gonna just play through some more of 1 on stream for a little bit. It's just, again, there's so much that has changed. It's really, like, directly comparing it in any capacity is like a fool's errand. With the extent of the changes. If it was between NES in the mobile version, like the both on the ones on the right, it would be a completely different story. That would be much easier to stay beat to beat on. HD-2D remake is so vastly different. It has the same story beats, but the things in between the beats are completely different. So I'm gonna boot it up here in a second and remove all this stuff here. So let me see what you're saying. The save data for the bonuses needs to be tied to the same account. Should ask you when you start. Yeah, it didn't save, or it didn't ask me, but all my save files are here. I mean, this isn't, here's the thing, with some games, when you turn off Steam Cloud, they change where they put the save files. So there would be technically 2 save file directories, depending on if you have a, okay, Dragon Quest is not one of those games, so never mind that. Oh, I do have auto cloud. Oh, never mind. I don't have auto cloud off. It's here. I don't know. It might have been a cloud thing, even though it's still locally on my hard drive. As a note, if you make a save for Dragon Quest 3 after you start 1 and 2, you'll be able to get them when you check the ones at the ends. Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, those suits were pretty good in 3. So they might be worth picking up. Anyway, let me get myself sorted here, and then we'll play through more of 1 just casually for like an hour or so. See if we run into any roadblocks. This will be more me blind now. But yeah, I completely overwhelmed by like how much they did with it. I gotta be honest. It far exceeds like how much 3 did. It's crazy. Okay. I clean all this up. Game capture. And crop. Yeah, as much as I want to keep playing Dragon Quest 2, I'm just gonna get through 1. Yeah, so literally there she is on the art. So I hope people don't mind me just showing that, but that's not a... They did want you to know about it. I forgot to keep rotating my saves here. Oh yeah, I never went to the Erdrick's thing. Well, now I'll actually do that. Already got a number of spells. Okay. Just head on out. Just literally follow the road. That's all you gotta do now is follow the road. Oh yeah, another thing, I forgot to talk about this. In the original versions, and this is how I like my RPGs like this when they're turn-based, is you don't need to mash the select button. If all you need to do is press A at the start of every fight, you just hold A. And that works in all the NES versions, and it works in even the mobile version I was showing. You just hold the A button, and it goes through the menus. This doesn't do that. You have to mash it, so I set up a turbo button for the left trigger to just be the A button. I did the same thing in HD-2D 3. So every time I get into a battle, I'm just holding down A. Or I'm just holding down the trigger, so it's spamming A. And of course, just leave it on tactics and let it do its thing. I don't have that. The Wayfarer. Oh, never mind. Okay. Now we go west of here. I like these sprite animations for monsters. And it's cool. I guess I do because there's no comparison. There's no comparison to make between sprite animations now. Oh no, there should still be though, because I didn't look at Super Famicom. They probably are animated on Super Famicom. Alright, well I'll enjoy those until then. That's the thing, again, the games on both Dragon Quest 1 and 2 were on MSX, MSX2, Game Boy Color, Super Famicom, Wii, PS4, 3DS, Wii. I said Wii twice. There's your tutorial on. Oh. That's not supposed to happen. Would-be heroes. And mediocre mage. What's the plan? Sorry, if they didn't like write the dialogue out like that, I would be reading it all out. I don't want to show off my struggle to fucking read, especially with dyslexia. I will still say though, oh, there's more loot in here, I think. Oh, what do we got here? There was a GameSpot review that docked points from these games because of the way they're written, not because of the English localization of Dragon Quest, but because they have that older English style to them. With our thous and our thys. I don't know if it needs to be said. I think if anyone's paid attention to Dragon Quest, they know this. I don't think it needs to be said, but technically, this world in particular, in the first two games and later in the third game, deliberately speaks differently, and that's why it's supposed to stand out from the. That's how it is on the mobile versions. Like that was not a localization change to HD-2D. That was still how it is. However, I do think it's cool because it is written like that on the NES. They do like ham it up on the NES, which is really cool. And then it comes full circle when it's now a deliberate part of how this world's dialect differs. Like it deliberately has a different dialect because it is like a different world and everything. That was my phone. Sorry about that. I don't mind reading it. There was something I was going to change in a menu and I don't remember what. Sandstorm scroll. Let's use a scroll. Yeah, I've really been... I was talking about it earlier, reevaluating which games I want to cover, and I would definitely say that I get more motivated to like play these games when I think of just playing and enjoying them. Like, I'm excited to just enjoy Dragon Quest HD 1 and 2, although I have to keep working on the Final Fantasy Tactics video. I didn't talk about that. I'm working on a draft right now of the Tactics video, in video editing. I have almost all my footage done. Oh, nice. That one will definitely... By all means, it should definitely be out by November if I'm already, like, have the Resolve timeline laid out and everything. For sure, the Tactics port review should be done November. So I got that I'm still working on. But there is, like, a... I'm just looking for the feeling of like I'm excited to enjoy casually playing this game, putting a stream on, relaxing as I go through Dragon Quest 1 and 2. It sounds really relaxing and it's something I want to do and I'm motivated to do. I got to do my work, of course. But that is a feeling of like there should probably be some of these games where I just play them because I want to play them, and not because I'm prepping for a video, and I should think about whether or not I'm going to do a video about them later. So far, it's really hard for me to turn down any of them, of the like ideas I have at the moment, because I still want to do them. But I think it would be of a healthier mindset for me to think I will do a port review of them after I have played it. Not out of the arbitration that I have to cover every game that comes out. But because it would be more... I love these scared adventurers. That's the line is asleep. Snore, blah 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 blah. Snore, blah 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 blah. Just like me to goo and fall asleep with my eyes wide open. Everyone needs their midday snooze now and again. Like, I think it would be really weird if I didn't do, like, full coverage of Dragon Quest 1 and 2 at some point. The thing is, I guess, like, I would say 5 years ago, definitely, the scope of what I would cover on the channel, there were moderate, like, amount of remasters and remakes released within a year. These days, there's way too many that release. And now it's like, even though Square themselves have reeled back on it, every other, like all these Tales projects coming out. You know, we got Suikoden back. Romancing Saga, Saga Frontier 2. Suikoden, Lunar made a comeback, you know? It was not all of this was happening 5 years ago. So it's a lot harder to stay up on, like the backlog that is built up right now is not a backlog that would have existed 5 years ago. So I think I would be of a healthier mindset to approach it in just enjoying these new RPGs and worrying about the videos and how I want to approach them later down the line. I was gonna say, the quest wants us following the new voice in our head. But when we get to this grave, it is Erdrick's words. So it's still, so even though the quest is telling us about that, this still remains in that we're reading this. But this is, I'm pretty sure this is all new. Like, these dudes were not here in the original. Originally, you would come in here, read the gravestone, and then that would be it. It was completely optional, I think. That's interesting. That's cool. Like, for Dragon Quest 1 through 3, there is definitely room to add all this narrative. It certainly feels like it belongs to me, it does, at least. You couldn't do this with Final Fantasy 1, for example. Read it all out. Or rather, display it all out, because I'm obviously not reading out loud. Okay. Fuck. Dynasty Warriors 3. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You know, they released some Atelier remakes recently too, right? And they had Ninja Gaiden 2 Black earlier this year. Which, regardless of whether or not you want to play that version, still cool that they're still doing stuff with it. Chimera Wings. Okay, so now I have somewhere new to go. I guess I'll stock up. But yeah, they're definitely still, like, there really are, to me it does feel like there's two ways of playing this game, at least with one, in that you can play it how you would have originally, if you know your way around, or you can play it with all of the guidances. If you were gonna play like with Nintendo Power, you might as well just turn all the stuff on. Or just play with Nintendo Power. There's still something about the physical media. But anyway, what else was I here for? Check out equipment. How much money do I have now? I could afford that sword. Never mind, I have something better than it already. Get this turban. Put that in the bag. Okay. What the level cap is. It's definitely not 30. It is well beyond 30. I don't have a definite answer, but that's at least what I can say is it's sure as hell not 30. You know, like all that off recording grinding I had to do for Dragon Quest 1 and 2 on NES and on the mobile version, and then here none of it. That recording was no pauses there. Yeah, we were talking about it. There's many numbers all throughout the games that are inflated. But that also includes enemies as well. So have to see where challenge is along the way. Oh yeah, I found an axe. There was an axe in Craggy Cave. I don't think there was originally an axe there, but I did find an axe there. So I have an axe now. Which otherwise would have been expensive. Also, because the first weapons you can buy, I think... Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think you start equipped with a sword in Dragon Quest 1. Because the bamboo pole you're given, and that's a good weapon, but you start with the copper sword, so there's no reason to buy the bamboo pole. Like, immediately. Yeah, I'm a big fan of how much more colorful and lively this looks. The flip phone versions changed to 50. Okay. I'm gonna guess 99. Yeah, it is overall still like not a terribly long game, though at the same time, yeah, the level cap's definitely, to my understanding, been raised. But I mean by that, I've already seen someone who's well over level 30. Oh yeah, we got to change the language setting. Yeah, let me check that out, actually. So let's see here. System, language. If you set it to Japanese. I don't know where the battle speed setting is, so I'll worry about that later. Okay. So now it's on normal speed. And let's see how fast it is. Oh yeah, that's way better. That's how it should be. Yeah, that's exactly how it should be. So yeah, let's highlight the problem here. Oh shit. Here. Okay, so let's highlight, so let's show what I'm talking about here. Let's get into our next battle, and we'll do normal speed with the English option. Oh, it's abandoned town. And look how slow this is. That can't be on purpose. No, now I think it's a bug. Wow. Yeah, no, that feels like unintentional. Man, that's crazy. And so I'll just leave it at fast later, but anyway. Forgotten Ruins. A bard. That was a good song. I don't know about Obsessed. in another timeline where I managed my time better, I'd have played through 1 and 2 ages ago before getting to this. And I think I would be better equipped to evaluate things from after my first hour of footage. Like from the bare, like, surface level that I usually can do on a stream. Because I can't tell you if anything like this was in the original or not. Hello, Nathan. Welcome. Yeah, because the same team that, or the same teams, or teams in better communication may have handled those ones. And handled Chinese as well. I'm gonna make sure to highlight that. I feel like that's... I wish I had known about that before. I forgot to change it back to fast. I would have really highlighted something like that because developers or people that have more of a means of communication do see YouTube videos. If I made that a really prominent thing in the prior port review, there would be a good odds it might have been changed. If anything, you just get more people seeing it and then talking about it.
Who thou art, but I beg of thee, send word to Tantagel. The detachment dispatched in search of Princess Gwaelin is no more, but she was seen. The fiends did spirit her away across the swampland south of Kol. I fear I can endure no longer.
We meet again, friend. But what is this? This man is a soldier of Tantagel.
He hath breathed his last. His wounds are truly terrible to behold.
Is this thy doing?
A message, thou sayest? The princess was taken across the swampland south of Kol?
Then we must go after her with all haste. Come, what are we waiting for?
But the party sent in search of the princess was comprised of our finest soldiers. Surely we will simply meet the same fate.
If thou art afraid, then away with thee homeward, coward. I will go to the princess's rescue, though I go entirely alone.
We cannot allow our comrades' deaths to have been in vain. We shall make for the swampland. You will remain here and see that this man is granted the burial he deserveth. Hie you thence to the castle and report on all that hath occurred here. Friend, I would ask a boon of thee also. News of these events will only stir discord among the people. I prithee, keep thy counsel. I understand that His Majesty had tasked thee with learning more of the hero of legend. I wish thee luck in thy quest. Now,
Captain, canst thou continue?
Do not fret on my account. We have work to do. Come.
Yeah, stay around. Okay. Oops, forgot about that. That hasn't changed my objective. We were told all about that, and we certainly could. Yeah, let's ignore our objective. Again. Just again, as far as I can tell, nothing is preventing us from following where they narratively would lead us. Oh, well then again, it's poison. Then again, it's probably not as bad as... Poison's probably nerfed. I keep forgetting to change the language back. There we go. That's good. Two damage per tick. Oh boy, okay. Am I? Oh, hold on. What do we got here? Okay. Just let myself keep going with no MP, because, I mean, I'm gonna level up eventually. And get all my MP back. I'm gonna take advantage of that and not let it disrupt my flow. A dragon. I do not have that sword equipped. Oh, Lord. Shit. Oh man, yeah, I had a feeling he'd probably do damage like that. Thankfully, he keeps missing. Huh. Yeah, sure, I'll open it now. Iron Lance. It is weaker. Oh, Dragon Scale. That's good defense, yeah. Okay. Ah. Okay, that explains that. Well, I guess fleeting curiosity will lead me onward to my doom. We're still trying to highlight some freedom here. At least until I get one shot. 36 damage, that was a lot. Still takes 2 turns though. I enjoy the overworld music. The battle music not so much, but that's okay. If the game was longer, it would be like, it would actually be like a negative. And it's still like, oh yeah, that's what I thought. Still more droning in the original. Being orchestrated, I think, helps. See how far along I can get into territory I should not be in. But again, Dragon Quest II's battle theme, I should have healed. So in the original, you die, you lose half your gold, and you go back to the king. This is as you would expect it. You have that option, or you can just load an autosave. So we'll just continue from an autosave. No big deal. No money loss. If I were in more dire straits, I would want to take the shortcut back to the king, but I also have Chimera Wings, so I can go back whenever I want anyway. That battle wouldn't have been a problem if... Oh, Jesus Christ. There, I set it to fight wisely. I believe the turn order... I'm not gonna live. I lived. Oh, shit. And you're gonna heal, right? He healed. So turn order is definitely gotta be different, because it seemed to me the original had a random turn order. But I'm going first pretty consistently in almost every fight I get into. Oh, it's a town. I should know that. I've been here before. Yeah. Well, now I can just fly back here later. Oh, this storyline's still going. Whenever the hero does the hand gesture for them speaking, I keep thinking of the Mario like gibberish. I don't even remember which game that was from. I don't even know if it was from a game. Oh, there's the door. And go around to the other side. Oh. That pot is just there for show. Okay. Oh, blue door. Yeah, I was gonna say, there's not as... It also feels like they're not relying on as much bloom as before. I guess that's what also helps the color, like how much more colorful this stands out. Yeah, no option for it anyway. You know, it's really annoying. We'll see it when I stream Atelier, but the new Atelier has this frustrating, like, color, not even like a filter, but it has like a sun ray overlay constantly over the game, which essentially adds like a yellow or orangish half transparent bar to the top of the screen, and it's so infuriating because the game already like looks nice and it looks pretty, and it would look better without that stupid overlay. And it's the fact that it is just an overlay. It doesn't go away with anything. It's just a little like gradient, and it really sticks out. Like, that's a really pretty game. It would just look nicer without that on it. Oh, bookshelf. Nothing. I guess I'll save, since I forgot to keep rotating save slots, because I forgot this game had more than 3 save slots. I forgot the HD-2D remakes have 9 save slots rather than 3. So let's see here. I definitely shouldn't be here yet, but I can be. And I don't have the money, but I can go in and look at the armor that, oh boy, that's expensive. Actually, I could... No, it's only one more than what would be better. All this gear is better. There's only one better weapon I could get. But we'll definitely, oh, that costs 7,000. Never mind. I can afford a helmet. Or a shield. I'll go with the shield. Because my damage output, even in this zone, has been fine. And this helmet is still better, so I'll just get the helmet. Okay. Yeah, what an interesting take on railroading the player. I am really curious to read more from people that grew up and played through 1 and 2 and their take on it. Because it does seem to me, at the very least, there isn't much in the way of stopping you from playing how you would have originally played. There was the one part in 3 that was made non-optional, and that was it. If the changes are like that, I wouldn't be surprised, but it almost doesn't seem like it's that way, but it's too early to tell. It is way too early on day 1 to tell. At least for me. The thing is, people that have already played Dragon Quest 1 have already beaten it by now, by this late in the day. It has been enough time for anyone who's familiar with the game to have beaten it by now. Which key do we need here? Oh good, I'm glad I came this way anyway. Yeah, I'm enjoying the soundtrack, at least for here. Oh, you can't see the door. You may not know which key it needs. But for which orchestra, I don't know off the top of my head. No, I wouldn't be able to answer that. I could keep going further south. And it would be really funny. Let's see how south I can go. Oh, I should sleep at the inn.
Not today.
At this rate, I'm gonna want to turn it to ultra speed. Damn it, I was holding A. Well, I was holding the trigger. I was holding my turbo A button. There.
I cannot fall. Heal.
I'm noticing a pattern. Nice. Okay, I don't need to go back to town now. Do I have any more seeds? Doesn't look like it. Yes, I do. Tokyo Metropolitan Symphony. There's a sign back there too. A little sign I could read. Yeah, it's more than likely the same as what they did for 3 soundtrack as well. Nice. The same orchestra probably did that. So it's to say, if you enjoy this, you'll probably enjoy... So far, I've enjoyed 2 soundtrack more, and 3's pretty good too. And if you enjoy 3s, you're gonna enjoy most of the series, because goddamn does it latch on to a lot from there onward. I'm really hopeful that that changes with 12. I'm hoping that 12 has, like, more than one town theme would be nice. Red, okay. Now, especially with the pacing of this first game, it isn't an issue, but with, like, a Dragon Quest XI, which can be a much longer game, it does, to me, it got frustrating that every town has the same day and night theme to it. Every dungeon has the same dungeon theme. Okay, alright, well, I think that's as far as I can get down this way. I think I'll go back up north now. But hey, if you want to try to get down this way, yeah, nothing's stopping you. There's no roadblock. And now when I want to come back here later, I can just use the Chimera Wing. But Dragon Quest 1, most specifically 1, there we go. Terribly long games that you don't have as much time to hear the soundtrack repeatedly. I guess even in 3 that wasn't as big of a deal. I think it was the biggest deal in 11 though. But that's almost like the caveat of it, is that every town has like the same theme, every dungeon has the same theme. Entire overworld. But that's not, oh, that one's not particularly new, but yeah, every town, same theme. This game doesn't have day and night cycles, so it's doesn't have that advantage. Yeah, the MIDI soundtrack of the original, yeah. Though that won't be an issue anymore. That won't be an issue anymore. So that's like pretty much all but confirmed, and then with adding more tracks like per dungeon or per town, that we'll have to wait and see. Okay, there is like an auto-equip. Okay. Well, now I'll go the way it wanted me to go, and I'm gonna be overpowered. But that's okay, because I've already had this axe the whole time anyway. Actually, yeah, they never wanted me to go to Craggy Cave, did they? So that extra trip I took to Craggy Cave turned out worth it since I have this axe. I'm pretty sure the axe that's where I got the axe from. It's still outclassing anything I could buy. At least that's affordable. Oh, this bag of laughs. I find it interesting it's been taking me to a loading like thing in between, just in and out of every battle. It doesn't last long, but it's still interesting that it's long enough to have to do that. Still overall faster, so I guess it's not a huge deal. There's Star Ocean to play first. I want to say 2's a good answer. I want to say it wouldn't matter which one, but I think 3? Or is it 4 would be a bad idea to start with? I think 2 would be the ideal one. It's the recent remake of 2 is I'm pretty fond of. I think they did a really good job with that remake of 2. You know, I'll probably get into a battle and just get all my MP back. Six was the most recent one, and it's kind of underrated. But I wouldn't say it's, 2 is just really damn good, so it's just a solid recommendation all around. Does this hold 60 on Switch too? There's a RPG site, link in the description where they talk about it. It holds 60, but it will be blurrier. It has a 60 FPS mode that does the job. But it does come with the compromise of being a little blurrier. There's comparison screenshots in the article. Yeah, Mikhail at RPG Sites really on top of that. I think he's already done Zillia. I'll have to look. If he did it for Cilia, I'll pull up the article tomorrow. I play 1 to understand 2. No, you don't. They're pretty self-contained. And I'll talk about this because Star Ocean fans do talk about it if it's...
Hear me. Can you hear me? You must meet with Rubis, spirit of the land. Without protection.
Well, long and short of it, just wait on 4. Don't worry about Star Ocean 4.
Seek out a means of summoning her. Of bringing her back to us. The fairies will... able to help you. As well of Tantagel. Must find them.
I think the one series that stands to benefit most from playing it in proper order is definitely Trails. To my understanding, it's definitely Trails. Which, thankfully, the recent Trails in the Sky makes a great entry point for exactly that reason. And it's such a good game in the first place. It's a very good place to start. Okay. So we got Zoom and Evac now. So I don't need Chimera Wings anymore. Huh. I don't remember that before. You see on the right, on the left there, it says don't use when following tactics. So I could prevent the tactics from using any of these abilities? So let's see. The only thing I ever want tactics to do is use Sizzle. Same thing with abilities. Never use an ability. Or let's have it do Sandstorm. Because I can't think of a situation, at least right now in the game, where it would want to do that when every attack one-shots. I guess I can't do anything if I use weapons. Here, let's go see. Report our findings to the king. Oh, I didn't mean to zoom. I'll walk out of town and see what happens. That wasn't an option in 3 HD-2D, was it? I'm pretty sure that's new here. So tactics. I mean, it's just gonna use the basic attack anyway. And needing to play it. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's needed. I wouldn't say it's required. It's just right now would be a very, very good time to get into it because the stars are aligning for it with this recent release. I didn't look at this. So item tactics. If you use items, only use equipment, only use items, and don't use. Because I have been using, I feel like there was some item I was using. But anyway, that's an option too. That's interesting. Man, that's cool. That would be cool if that's also carrying into Dragon Quest VII, like these kinds of quality of life things, and then subsequently, Dragon Quest XII. Oh yeah, the castle is no longer separate from this starting town, so we're walking through town to get to the castle. So the approach with how I want to do things isn't really... I'm gonna have to end up glossing over things like that, but yeah, the original the castle is a separate thing on the overworld map from the town. But here they're just put together. Oh yeah, the NPC that heals you for free, this dude, he's still here. I think you can just sleep at the inn for free in the first town anyway. Now, but also he is still here. Oh, he gave me HP and MP too. Before he only gave you MP, which you would then use to just use heal on yourself. He was a infinite MP thing. Yeah, hopefully 8's on the way. They seem pretty, like, clear that most, if not all of them, are going to be remade at this point. So I think it's only a matter of time. If anyone gets aura migraines, that transition filter looked familiar.
Gwaelin, Princess of Tantagel, it is to you, and only you, that I might speak. I am Rubus, mother to the land of Alefgard, and I hereby entrust to you a message. A foretelling of how this world might be saved. Listen well. A great darkness threatens Alefgard. Take the sphere of light in hand and seek out a place of safety. In time, one will come to you, a youth who bears the blood of Erdrick, hero among heroes. Impart to him this message that I entrust to you. Guide him on his quest. Bid him go.
Princess, we have come far and fast. Perhaps it would be better if we rested.
We need not do so for my sake. Come, let us continue onward.
I really gotta play the original. I almost feel like with the length, I should be playing it at the same time.
What is this power I sense?
Is that... Speak.
Thou bearest the sphere of light, dost thou not, Princess Gwaelin of Tantagel?
Fiends! Protect the princess!
Is that Ben?
What is the meaning of this? Who art thou, rogue?
I am the Dragon Lord, Master of Masters, King of Kings.
King of kings? Thou art naught but a monster!
Know this, fair princess. The monster thou seest before thee is the true ruler of this world. All others are naught but pretenders. The sphere thou carriest is mine by right, and thou wilt return it to me.
'Tis the birthright of he who beareth the blood of heroes, and I shall relinquish it to no other.
So Rubus watcheth over thee. Then let us see whose power is the greater. Victory is mine. Perhaps thou might consider joining me. 'Twill be a sight worth seeing, I assure thee.
I think that's Ben Starr.
Never. A hero shall soon come, just as Lady Rubus foretold. The darkness thou servest shall not be suffered to thrive. He who is blessed with the power of the light shall see to that.
A hero. Let him come. Let them all come. All shall suffer the same fate at my hand. Majesty, might I suggest we take the princess, willingly or no? There is still much we might learn from her. Those of your accursed ilk are ever presumptuous. Very well. Do as thou wilt. I have what I came for. Come, we return to the castle.
There's plenty of original, like, assets here, and especially animations, that really
Back, fiend! Away with thee!
set all of this effort apart from the pixel remasters.
Princess!
Alright, so you're given direction from there. Yeah. Alright, so we know about the first key. Another thing, do we... yeah, we don't save at all at the King's anymore. Which I guess should have been expected because now there are churches. I was just curious if you could still, like, optionally save at the King or not. But no. But yeah, I'm gonna be wrapping up here shortly. Cause I'm really eager to just like sit down and play. Like I want to sit down and play, and I think I would benefit a lot if I shifted my mind. Ooh, an alley. Shifted my mind. I was already down this alley. Shifted my mindset away from playing the games from the beginning for a video and played them first, and instead played them first and thought about the videos later down the line. If I'm already going to be like not timely with them, then I would probably benefit with that kind of approach. Oh yeah, here's that chest where the pre-order stuff or the cat suit or dog suit would be. Oh, they want me to get the key first, no matter what. Okay. Of course, it wouldn't be optional. And zoom from right here. I've already been up there. I just want to get the thief's key. But again, I'm gonna be live tomorrow with Tales of Xillia. The first thing I'm gonna do after I stop streaming here is go and record the first hour of the remaster, and then tomorrow we'll look at the footage of both back. That's how they explain the key then. Well, there I go along my way. All right, yeah. Again, I wish I had more to offer. I think in a different, like, you know, time I would have had 1 and 2 beaten already before this even came out. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And then, even then, honestly, it hardly feels like it would have mattered with how much has changed anyway. Like, they did so much here, man. Anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow with Tales of Zillia. And then the day after that, I might be back for a few hours of the new Atelier. It has a really long title. Sorry, I don't keep saying it. Reslariana. Atelier Reslariana. Yeah. The Red Alchemist. Anyway, yeah, that's what that's about, so. Well, we'll see about that later in the week. For now, I'm gonna just enjoy my time then. And hopefully not stay up too late. Anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope tomorrow I'm up earlier than that, and otherwise, thank you all for the continued support. I appreciate it. I'll see you all later. Bye for now.